anger as Putin offers evacuation routes to Russia. Youths cannot be taught distorted history of independence anymore, says PM. Withdraw VAT on import of edible oil, FBCCI urges government. Assalamu alaikum, this is Chaudhry Sama welcoming you all to Evening News. You have just heard the headlines, now let's move on to the details. A new Russian ceasefire proposal to allow civilians to flee key cities has been branded immoral by Ukraine. According to the Russian authorities, people in Kyiv will be offered safe passage to Russia's ally Belarus, while those in Kharkiv will have a corridor leading only to Russia itself. Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshchuk has called Russia's 6 proposed humanitarian corridors unacceptable. Of the 4 cities mentioned in Russia's proposal, only Mariupol and Sumy have evacuation routes that lead to other parts of Ukraine. Overnight on Sunday, Russia sent a letter proposing a temporary ceasefire window from 10 Russian time. In response, Ukraine sent Russia its conditions on the routes, specifically the opening of the corridors for the evacuation of people to the west of Ukraine away from Russia. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today said in this era of technology, the youths cannot be kept in the dark about the history of the country, its independence, the sacrifice of the father of the nation, and the bloodshed of millions of martyrs. In this era of technology, there is no possibility to push the youths into the regime of darkness again, she said while addressing a program celebrating the historic March 7 speech of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. The Cultural Affairs Ministry organized a program at Bangabandhu International Conference Center while the Prime Minister joined it virtually from her official residence, Ganabhavan. She said that no one will be able to threaten the independence of the country and no one can destroy the ideology of Bangabandhu. She also mentioned that quarters with vested interest were able to mislead the youths for 21 years after the assassination of Bangabandhu.
আমার যেটা চিন্তাই ছিল দেশটা স্বাধীন হবে কে 7 মার্চের ভাষণের দিবসটা পালন করলো না পড়লো এটা নিয়ে বোধহয় আমাদের চিন্তা করার কিছু নাই কারণ ওটা ধরেই নিতে হবে যে এরা সেই গোষ্ঠী যারা এদেশের স্বাধীনতাই চায়নি এরা সেই গোষ্ঠী যারা জাতির পিতাকে হত্যা করেছে তাজা মানুষ যারা আগুনে পুড়িয়ে মারতে পারে আন্দোলনের নামে তো তাদের কাছে এদেশের মানুষ কি আশা করবে কাজে বিএনপি আজকে একে তো দুর্নীতিতে সাজাপ্রাপ্ত তাদের নেতারা তার উপর তাদের নেতৃত্ব কোথায় ওই ফিউজিটিভ হয়ে বসে বসে এই দেশের মানুষের জন্য ধ্বংসের কাজ করা ছাড়া তাদের আর কিছু করার নাই
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today paid rich tributes to Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman on the occasion of the historic March 7. She paid the homage by placing a wreath at the portrait of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman in front of the Bangabandhu Memorial Museum at Dhanmondi in Dhaka in the morning. After laying the wreath, she stood in solemn silence for some time as a mark of profound respect to the memory of the father of the nation, the architect of the independence. On this day in 1971, Sheikh Mujib, through his fiery and soulful address, made a clarion call to the people to fight against the Pakistani occupation forces to achieve the long-cherished independence.
যারা আমাদের স্বাধীনতা সার্বভৌমত্বের বিরুদ্ধে ষড়যন্ত্র করে তাদের বিরুদ্ধে আজ আমাদের ঐক্যবদ্ধ হয়ে প্রতিরোধ করে বঙ্গবন্ধুর স্বপ্নের সোনার বাংলা পুরোপুরি আমাদের নির্মাণ করতে হবে
The ruling Awami League used the court to formulate laws as per their will in order to cling to power, said BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir today. He said the government passed the law to form the Election Commission in the parliament, which he dubbed as illegitimate. He made the remark while addressing a discussion in the capital this morning.
আদালতের মাধ্যমে একটা আপনার রায় দেয় সেই রায়ের মধ্য দিয়ে সেটাকে তারা বাস্তবায়িত করে সেটাকে আপনার তাদেরকে লেজিটিমেসি দিতে চায় এবং দেখুন আজকে যে তত্ত্বাবধায়ক সরকারের বিধান আদালতের রায়ের মাধ্যমে বিচারপতি খারুলকে রায়ের মাধ্যমে তারা কিন্তু সেটাকে বদলে দিয়ে আবার দলীয় সরকার অধীনে নির্বাচনের ব্যবস্থা বহাল করবে এই দেশে বিচারপতি খারুলকেও জনগণের সামনে জবাবদিহি করতে হবে। তারা যে সংবিধানের কথা তারা বারবার বলে, এখন বলছে আবার যে সংবিধানের মতোই নির্বাচন হবে। আর সংবিধান তো তোমরা তৈরি করেছো, এটা তোমাদের পুরনো ইতিহাস। আবার বলছে কি যে আমরা ইসি করেছি আইনের মাধ্যমে। কারা করেছে? আইনটা কোত্থেকে করলে? কারা পাশ করলো এই আইন? পার্লামেন্ট। এই পার্লামেন্টে কারা? একটা অবৈধ পার্লামেন্ট।
The FBCCI, the apex body of the country's business people, today urged the government to withdraw the VAT on import of edible oil to bring back normalcy in the skyrocketing prices of the cooking oil in the country. The FBCCI also suggested the government introduce bond on import of edible oil so that the unscrupulous businessman cannot manipulate the prices of the widely consumed cooking ingredient. The apex trade body made the call in a discussion with the importers, millers, refiners, wholesalers and the leaders of different trade bodies to discuss issues related to the increasing prices of edible oil. A section of dishonest businessmen have been selling the edible oil at higher prices in the markets, violating the government's fixed prices ahead of the Ramadan, the FBCCI leaders said. Now, sports cricket. New Zealand cruised to a 9-wicket win over Bangladesh in a rain-affected match Monday to put their Women's Cricket World Cup champion back on track. The New Zealanders looked totally in control in a fixture where the innings were reduced to 27 overs due to heavy rain. Set a target of 141, they finished on 144 by 1 with 7 overs to spare as Susie Bates smashed 79 of 69 balls and Amelia Carr made 47 of 37. New Zealand won the toss and opted to bowl in the first over. ODI meeting between the teams. Shamima Sultana made 33 of 36 balls before departing. Then Amy put the brakes on Bangladesh's scoring with 2 wickets in her first over and finished with 3 for 25. Farzana Haq managed 52 of 63 balls but was run out by Francis Mackay. Divine was dismissed cheaply for 14 but Bates and Carr combined for a decisive 108-run stand. Before ending, let's have a look on the headlines once again. Ukraine anger as Putin offers evacuation routes to Russia. Youths cannot be taught distorted history of independence anymore, says PM. Withdraw VAT on import of edible oil, FBCCI urges government. And that's all from the newsroom for now. To know updates, videos of this bulletin, visit our website www.ntvbd.com. Besides, visit our YouTube and verified Facebook page for updates over NTV's all popular programs and bulletins. Our next bulletin, Shunda Khabur, will be aired in Bangla at 7:30 p.m. Thank you for being with us. Have a good time.